Time and Tide, the Australian Watch Authority, since 2014.
When it comes to the fine art of watch designing, one of the most difficult elements to master, in my opinion at least, is restraint. Restraint is something that Jaquet Droz, as you can see on this Astrale Grand Heure Minute, is very familiar with. In watch design, you're working with a relatively small object, and it's easy to go overboard on the details. Partially, I think this is down to convention. After all, what is a fine watch without hands, hour markers, a logo or two, a couple of lines of dial text, and a few different finishes? On the wrist, this Astrale is quite large. It's 43mm, but it wears, I think, even bigger, thanks to the fact that the dial is mostly a blank slate. But more importantly, I think it's down to an aversion to negative space. Because really, the Astrale here, it has all those attributes that I just mentioned, but it deploys them in a super minimal and deliberately asymmetrical way. The result is a distinctive watch that lets the quality speak and stands out on its own as a design object. It's powered by the JD1169SI, an automatic movement that's good for 68 hours of power reserve. It comes standard on a pretty classic glossy croc strap. Obviously these watches are about the dials, but I personally prefer the grey. It's a bit more uncommon. Having said that, the blued steel hands of the silver adds a nice flash of colour. I do think they missed a bit of an opportunity not colour matching the second subdial or the tiny hour markers, though perhaps that would have pushed it over the edge. Jaquet Droz is a bit of an acquired taste over here, I think. It's fair to say they're seen as quite ornate. The Astrale Hour Minute shows a different, more strongly design-focused side of the brand, a side I really like, and I think will work very nicely here in Australia. This watch has an Australian retail price of $11,250.